Hi everyone. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to get on and make a video and talk to you for a few minutes. Um, I have a pretty busy week coming up ahead. This week has been pretty free, so I was able to get some more walking in and just relaxation. Tomorrow we're going to rearrange our furniture around. That's always exciting for me. I know that I have a lot of pain and with my hip, it debilitates me. But my OCD is just at work because I've been under a lot of stress. Um, and I just need to change something. And it's funny with my OCD. I've had it since I was just a little kid. I can remember it so vividly. It started off with numbers and pairs when I would eat my cereal when I was a child. It always had to be an even amount of pieces on my spoon because when I ate them, I used to pretend that when you ate them, they would die. And I didn't want an odd piece on my spoon because it would die alone. And I just didn't want it to have to go in my tummy by itself. So I would always have to add another one so that it would have a partner. And it really drove me mad. I mean, I know as an adult now it was a coping mechanism that I had, but as a child I was just so confused by my feelings and my little quirks. So I know when I'm in a stressful situation, my quirks and my OCD acts up. And it's been acting up recently. Mike keeps telling me, take your Xanax, take your Xanax. I really don't like to take medicine and be dependent upon it. I know that I need my medicine for my bipolar and my depression. So I religiously take those pills. But anything that says as needed, I try not to take. But it's gotten bad where I had to break down and take some Xanax. So it doesn't really work for me. I mean, it makes me mellow momentarily, but my mind is quicker than a Valium or a Xanax. So, um, the other day I was sitting outside and I saw a family that lives across the street from me. And they have some little girls, and the littlest girl, she just is so adorable. And I was just watching her play, and at first it was just like so sweet, and I was smiling. But then I just got so depressed. And the trouble with me is that I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was in my early 30s. I'm, I'm sure had I known that PCOS existed, I would have been diagnosed much younger. But at that time, I was trying not to get pregnant because I wasn't in any serious relationships. But I've been with Mike for 21 years. And when we first got together, he didn't want to have children. So I wasn't looking to get pregnant. But in like 2004 or 5, my family moved to Florida. And I thought that would be the perfect opportunity for me to start thinking about some family planning. And so I went for some tests because I was getting my period irregularly, and my doctor ran some tests on PCOS. In the meantime, they asked if Mike would go and get checked. And I figured he would never go along with that, and putting his little statement in a cup and being tested. But he did it graciously and he was fine. I knew it was me. And then I got the diagnosis. And I've rolled with all the punches. But the problem with it is I'm going to be 49 years old in November. My problem is my biological clock has never stopped ticking. Even when I see my nieces with their children, of course, I love them. I'm so grateful to be around them. There's this sadness that comes from deep within that I was never able to bear a child. And I'm trying to be realistic. I know at my age, I can't get around with a baby and do all the things that mothers need to do. And we can't afford to adopt. And I don't know much about fostering a child, but I just wish my biological clock would turn off because it is so bittersweet to see people with their children. I'm so happy for families. I think it's wonderful to see them out with their children, especially now that people are out and about and doing things. It's not as locked down as it was last year. And it's wonderful when I see my niece and she sends me pictures of her children. It's really beautiful, but it's also bittersweet because I have all those yearnings still and I know it won't happen. I know that everything happens for a reason. I'm sure God understands or understood when He, you know, made the plan and it wasn't in the cards for me to have a child. I'm perfectly happy being an aunt or just a friend or a godmother. I'm absolutely fine with that. I wouldn't trade that for anything. But my yearning for having a child has just never gone away. Sometimes when I go down the toy aisles in stores and I see families together, I can't even bear to be there. If I'm in a store or a restaurant setting and I see families, I have to be seated when my back is to them. I break down a lot. And Mike is so wonderful at comforting me and reassuring me that I'm okay and I'm a worthy person and that he loves me anyway and we have our own family together and that I shouldn't be so down on myself. It's so hard when something that you wanted, it seems to come so natural. I mean, especially the way women were viewed at certain times of history in the world. Our our biggest goal in life was to get married and have children. Our job as a woman is to bear children. And when you have the equipment and you can't do what you need to do or what you're born to do, you feel like such a failure. I feel like my parts are all broken. I feel less than a woman. And not that I feel in any way a woman is, you know, determined by how many children she has or anything like that. I know there's lots of women that choose not to have children. Um, and I respect that. And I'm not here saying that it's a woman's duty to have a child. I'm not saying that at all because I know, like I said, I know a lot of women that don't have children and they made it a purposeful decision and I stand by it and they have very rich, fulfilling lives and they're wonderful people. But this person here wants to and wanted to have a child and the time has passed and my clock keeps ticking. I'm not going to cry. My clock keeps ticking. My yearning is still there. I feel like I can just try to live vicariously through my niece and I can just hold on to the love I have for my nieces, all my nieces and nephews, near or far. But what do you do when that clock is still ticking to quiet it and give you a chance to soothe yourself and heal yourself? You know, I'm the oldest of 10 children. I was only raised with myself and my brother, one of my brothers. And I always had a fear growing up that I would never have a child. And I would always tell my mother, Mom, I'm not going to be able to have children when I grow up. And she would always say, Oh, you're ridiculous. You're your father's child. He's so fertile. Of course you'll have children. And my brother I grew up with, he has 6 children. And my baby sister, she just had a child. And I think that's what's prompted this whole biological clock thing going. The baby sister just had a baby and she had a little girl, and I'm so happy for her. I know she'll be a wonderful mother. But it just started that clock ticking again. It was down there. I mean, it's always around, but I had it in check for a while, and now it's like rearing its ugly head again. And I don't know how to cope with those emotions. So I've been praying on it. And when I see my counselor, I'm going to be talking to her about it. I talked to Mike about it because normally my way is to just hold everything in, dig it down deep. You don't want to bother anyone with your problems, um, or your emotions. But now I've decided that I want to talk about it and talk about it good and get it off my chest. So that is what my game plan is. But I just wanted to leave a tape or a video and let any of you out there that are familiar with your biological clock still ticking, or that can relate, or have ever been let down in life and feel like you're cursed or anything like that. I understand completely, but we know God doesn't curse us. So we just stand up, dust ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and try all over again. So that's what's been on my mind. Keep me in your thoughts. I'm going for a hip injection next week, and I've really been trying really well on my diet. I'm going to my primary doctor, and I'll get weighed, and I'll let you know if I lost any weight. Um, and then the week after, I get a cavity filled. But other than that, I'm keeping myself busy. I have a wonderful husband. I have so much to be thankful for in him alone. And he can act like a big baby sometimes. So I guess I'm not without a child sometimes. But I just wanted to stop and say hey to all of you and to let you know that I'm thinking about you. And if any of you want to talk more about PCOS or biological clocks or depression or not liking to take your meds, whatever it may be, feel free to comment or send me a personal message. I took some really pretty pictures of some flowers that I just uploaded to Instagram. I saw them the other day on a walk I took. If you want to pop over there and take a peek over there, I don't really post on Instagram very much. It's usually when I see something that's just really beautiful. And that's about it. I will let you go. And until I talk to you guys next time, take care. I love you all. Bye.